Okay, we're back. We're live. This is Think Tech Talks here on Energy Wednesday. Hawaii, the state of clean energy. We're broadcasting in all manner of ways on Ustream, on Spreaker, and we're putting it on YouTube and Olelo, and we're covering the world. What can I say? And we have today our special guest in the studio is Scott Cooney with Pono Home, which is one of the cohorts of the Energy Accelerator and Dawn Lippert. And we have on the phone Bash Nola. He's an independent consultant working on the Utility of the Future program in Maui. I want to say May 23rd, May 24th. Am I right about that, Bash?
No, May 26th through the 28th.
Okay, I only did that so people would make note of exactly.
Me, not May, March.
March, thank you.
March 26th through the 28th.
We'll repeat that a few times.
Jumping ahead too fast.
Okay,
Pretty soon it's going to be Christmas.
So Scott Cooney, say hi.
Hello.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, pleasure.
So let's go to you, Bash, first and talk about this program. It caught my eye. It came around in Honolulu almost, serendipitously. And so, wow, this is a really, really important subject, and what a tremendous list of speakers you have. This is fabulous. So tell us the what, where, why, and how to begin with.
Well, the idea of the program was conceived in a partnership, I think, between the County of Maui and the County Economic Development Association. And the county put together I think, a very good program committee to at least devise and develop a program that would explore what the utility of the future might look like. And in doing so, we tried to get speakers that could certainly address where we see the electricity industry and the electric utility industry is going to be needing to go in the future. And in essence, it's a program that is not so much regional or statewide. It's really a global type of program. It certainly begins here in Hawaii because I think we're taking a dramatic lead in moving toward, I think, a very, very new paradigm for the utility industry. And what I mean by that is that, Hawaii, as you all know, are just wedded to fossil fuels, and all of our energy is basically generated by fossil fuels. We've got a very aggressive renewable energy program, which we're moving right along on. But as we move toward a renewable energy future with the idea of getting off of fossil fuel to help stabilize energy rates and reduce environmental impacts, air emissions for the state, this program is going to start exploring how in the heck are we going to do this, and it's basically the forerunner for the industry. What are going to be the key drivers that are going to be affecting this change as we move to the new utility paradigm of the future? And so it's encouraging to see what we're going to be looking at and getting stakeholders involved in the discussion, all the way from large customers, the Public Utilities Commission, the utilities themselves, industry regulators. And so this will give us a great opportunity to just explore the directions and challenges and opportunities that we face.
Yeah, you have tremendous names in this program. Aside from the PUC, you have Nina Morita there. You have others from the PUC too, do you?
Yes, Mike Champley. In fact, all three commissioners will be present.
You know it's serious when you have all three commissioners. And then you have Connie Lau of HEI, Dick Rosenblum, the CEO of Hawaiian Electric, and Dan Giovanni from Hawaiian Electric, the senior officer there. This is quite an. How did you do that, actually, Nola? I mean, Bash.
Well, I think the program committee worked together to line up the speakers. We have representatives on the program committee, not only from the the public sector, but also the utility sector as well as the energy industry sector. So when we started putting our heads together, we came up with a good program and some good speakers, and it was very beneficial or very fortuitous for us to have these speakers accept the invitations to join us here in Maui.
So you have it's lined up over 2 days, am I right, or is it 3?
Well, it's 2 days officially. It's Wednesday, March 26th, and Thursday, March 28th. March 27th. And then on the 28th is going to be an opportunity to visit certain facilities, energy facilities around Maui. For example, the Kaiaba Wind Farm, First Wind is offering a tour. There's an opportunity to look at the HCNS, Hawaiian Commercial and Sugar Operation, in what they're doing
the biofuel
energy to agriculture. Yeah, so it's and then we've got a third tour that we're looking at, trying to put together and finalize.
Where is the main part of the program? What's your venue?
Well, the venue is going to be at the Maui Arts and Cultural Center here in downtown Kahului.
Okay, and what's the cost, and how do I sign up?
Well, you can sign up online, and the cost, if I recall, is $395 for the session, and for the 2 days, and I'm not sure whether or not the tours will be extra at this point, but almost, if you've been to one conference, you've almost been to all of them in terms of registration and fees.
Well, it would have predicted a cost of about that much. What's the website that people should go to sign up?
Oh, that's okay. Hold on. Let me see if I can find that for you.
Actually, they could just do a Google on the utility of the future and find you pretty quick.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm very impressed. I think this is definitely a statewide program, and as you said, it's more than that. It's a look into the future for everywhere, and it'll be very creative, I'm sure, to figure it out, and to have Hawaiian Electric there to help you figure it out and come up with some creative ideas in the future will be very, very good. I hope you videotape it, because the people back home here in Honolulu would like to see it for sure.
Yeah, by the way, the website I think you can go to is www.hightechmaui.com/energy conference.
Okay. One more time?
Okay, one more time. It's www.hightechmaui, all one word, .com/energy conference.
Okay, as we get closer to the program, I'd like to talk to you about it again on one of our other shows, Bash. If you don't mind,
Very
I'll
good.
do this again, and we'll try to get your picture on the screen, too.
Okay, sorry about that.
Okay, great.
Technical difficulties.
Bash Nola, who is organizing the Utility of the Future program on March 26th, 7th, and 8th in Maui. And I think everybody should be looking forward to that. It sounds like a really important program. Aloha.
Come and join us. Come and join us. Aloha.
Aloha, Bash. Okay, there's a short break now. When we come back, we'll talk with Scott Cooney of Pono Home to find out exactly what they're doing, why they're being funded, what they're going to do with the money. We'll be right back.
Aloha. I'm Nicole Horry for ThinkTech. For nearly half a century, the Hawaii Foreign Trade Zone No. 9 has brought the benefits of the Foreign Trade Zone program to Hawaii businesses and entrepreneurs. DBET, the Department of Business, Economic Development, and Tourism, operates Hawaii's Foreign Trade Zone program to encourage international business and economic development. The Foreign Trade Zone's mission is to increase the amount of international trading activity in Hawaii, thereby providing employment opportunities for the residents of our island state. For more information, see ftz9.org. I'm Nicole Horry. Mahalo. We want to thank our underwriters. Hawaiian Electric Company and its affiliates Maui Electric on Maui and Hawaii Electric Light Company on Hawaii Island are deeply committed to the communities they serve.
Galen Ho is a senior executive of BAE Systems, a global defense, security, and aerospace company.
The High-Tech Development Corporation, the state's leading technology agency, attached to the Department of Business, Economic Development, and Tourism.
Castle and Cook Hawaii, with a time-honored legacy that spans more than 160 years and revolves around its mission of investing in Hawaii, creating communities, and providing for the needs of our state.
Hawaii Gas, formerly the Gas Company, a proponent of the Liquefied Natural Gas Initiative, helping Hawaii achieve its transition to clean energy and a better energy future.
Collateral Analytics, a Hawaii-based tech company empowering the real estate industry with greater and faster access to the tools and data they need to make better informed property investment decisions.
I'm Nicole Horry. Thanks so much for joining us on Think Tech.
I'm Maria Kashen. See you next time.
We're back. We're live. We're at Think Tech Talks, broadcasting here from the Pioneer Plaza at the core of downtown Honolulu, on Ustream, Spreaker, and ultimately on YouTube and Olelo. Talking today about Hawaii, the state of clean energy. It's Energy Wednesday for us. The show is supported by the Hawaii Hawaii Energy, by DBED, by Hawaiian Electric, and by the Hawaii Energy Policy Forum, as you may know. And our special guest is Scott Cooney, alone at last. Scott, you and me.
All right, let's do it.
Well, Pono Home. So, what is Pono Home?
Pono Home, so those familiar with the word Pono in Hawaiian just know that it basically just means being sort of right with the world, sort of doing the right thing, that sort of thing. And so when you look at that in a home context, you basically look at ways to cut the carbon footprint of the home, ways to eliminate toxins from the home, that sort of thing. So effectively what I created was a green home consulting service.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have a movie.
Yeah.
I am reminded we have a movie. It's about 3 minutes?
It's about 3 minutes, but the first minute or so is all we really need. So.
Okay, well, let's start it up, and then you and I will take a look, and
Sure.
We'll show it to everybody else.
When you think of sustainability and healthy, green living, what comes to mind? Well, for some people it means wholesome, organic, and local food, and avoiding GMOs.
For our website.
For others, it may be changing some light bulbs or installing solar panels to reduce your electric bills and your carbon footprint. Some may think about all the petrochemical toxins and carcinogenic ingredients that potentially lurk in your cupboards, under sinks, in garages, and in personal care products. Still others may think of the gasoline they buy for their car and wish there was a way they could buy less of it.
The truth is, it's all of these things. It's about being Pono. In Hawaiian, the word Pono means essentially being right with the world. By making your home more Pono, whether you're a homeowner or a renter, you get to live healthier, breathe cleaner air inside, reduce your gasoline, electric, and water bills, avoid carcinogenic and GMO ingredients in your personal care items and food. While many programs and services seek to educate people about how to green their lives and save money on electric bills, Pono Home is unique in that we don't just talk or educate, we immediately implement and install solutions to make your home more Pono. You could spend days or even weeks researching all the energy and water efficiency and other green living solutions for your home. Shopping for the hardware, reading installation instructions, making changes, figuring out what ingredients are GMO or carcinogenic. But who has that kind of time? In our 2 to 3 hour service to make your home Pono, we do everything for you, right then and there.
We deliver healthier living and savings on your utility bills in the most convenient way possible, so you can get on with your healthier life and a more Pono home. Thanks for visiting our crowdfunding campaign. We're looking to rapidly grow Pono Home into a force for good across the country and across the world. Our vision is to have Pono Home specialists in every city and every town across the world, and with each house they visit, they help people save money, help them live healthier, and reduce our dependence on fossil fuels and petrochemical products. One house at a time, we want to make the whole world Pono.
As for rewards in this campaign, for those living on Oahu, you can get the Pono Home service at your house or for a friend. And remember, homeowner or renter, you'll get substantial financial savings and rapidly recoup your money through reduced utility bills.
We can cut the video now. Come back down to earth.
But yeah.
So, okay, are you especially qualified for this? I mean, when you go to school for this?
It's been a lifelong study. I'm actually a professor in the MBA program at the University of Hawaii, and I teach the one and only sustainability course over there. This is my 4th green business that I've started. I've been in the green business world since 2003. I've lived and breathed sustainability since I was about 17 years old.
Why? What happened?
I-
Have an
I-
epiphany?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think when I was that age, I just really resonated with the message of sustainability, and I grew up in a household that was a businessy kind of household. My dad was in business, and I think I learned a lot of those lessons. And as opposed to just trying to do environmental work, which I think usually is nonprofit, usually depends on grants and that sort of thing. I've never taken any outside money. I've never looked at grants. I've never looked at investors, and everything I've tried to do is solving environmental problems through a business model, self-sustaining business model. So,
Well, good for you. I mean, really. I mean, you say you got the bug on this when you were 17. Well, I'm just doing a little mental math, looking at you now. That was a while ago. Sorry to say.
that's true. You see the grays in the beard.
Yeah, there it is.
You can zoom in on that if you need to, but I assure you they're there.
And that means that you woke up before Al Gore's movie, and
Oh, yeah.
You were aware of these things before the rest of the world got excited about them.
Oh, there have been people talking about this since before I was born.
Sure, but
so-
but I'm talking about the larger number
Yeah,
of people where
for sure.
it's the word sustainability has almost lost meaning.
It is, yeah. It
I
seems
don't
so
think that's true for you, but
very, very mainstream now, doesn't it?
yeah,
So,
yeah, it's everywhere. It's one of those words.
yeah.
Anyway, so how long ago did you start this?
So Pono Home officially started doing in-home visits back in August of last year. So
And are you in business now? I mean, you're actually doing what the movie says, and
We are,
for
yeah.
money, American
and
money.
have been for many months, and
okay.
we're seeing amazing results. The people are getting their money back more or less through savings on utilities in anywhere from 2 to 6 months.
So the $62 is an annual charge?
So the $62 you saw in that video is the amount that people might spend if we didn't make that change.
Okay, what do you charge them
We charge $80 total
for a year?
for one-time service.
One-time service.
So we go in
And they
and
can have you come back if they get nervous about it later.
If they really do, yeah, but it hasn't been necessary yet. But yeah, it's a 2 to 3 hour service. We go in, we just make all these changes, and we guarantee that the service pays for itself in less than a year, or the person gets their full money back.
And you're very efficient. We just go in like a whirlwind and do it right now.
We do, but we also spend some time.
You mind
with
if
the
I
person.
change your filter? You just change the filter.
Right, it's very subtle. I'm talking to the person, distracting them, and just changing things. No, we I spend a lot of time. The first thing that we do is we go in and we sit down with the person and say, what are your questions? What's the main concerns that you have? And a lot of times it's energy. A lot of times it's utility bills. But a lot of times it's should I go solar? Or is energy efficiency a better way to go? A lot of times it's I've got reams of personal care products. My daughter has all this stuff, and I want to make sure there's no carcinogens in them. Cool. So we make sure we line up those priorities and work with the person.
This goes wide. You're in every part of the house.
We do. It's very comprehensive. But the difference between what we do and say a HERS rated energy audit. So that's like an official energy audit.
What's the acronym?
HERS, HERS, Home Energy Rating System, I think is what it stands for. But the difference between a HERS rated thing is that they're looking at building envelope stuff. They're looking at the HVAC system and the insulation and that sort of thing. We look at the building envelope in. So we look at appliances and electronics and how people are using electricity and the light bulbs and the fixtures and the shower heads and that sort of thing. So it's a completely different service than the HERS service. Even though it's very complimentary.
Now you said you were going to franchise to young lady Jennifer.
Yep.
And all that, but that assumes that you're going to make a manual, probably around 6 inches thick, and give it to her, and have all the secrets of the business in there.
Yeah.
The advice, the consultation, it's all there.
Yeah.
Okay. So how actually do you protect, as an MBA professor, how actually do you protect your stuff? I mean, this is a knockoff waiting to happen. Right?
Oh, sure. And I'm not the first one to try it. That's the other thing. Other people have tried this in the past and they failed. And I have interviewed every one of them and found out why they failed.
Okay.
So, and to be honest, I feel like we have a great system. I think we have a great name. We've got solid backing. And if competitors pop up, we'll be fine. There's the untold market potential for this is incredible. Think about it this way. We can serve renters. No energy auditing service has ever been able to do that because our payback periods are 2 to 6 months. Anybody on a year lease, easy.
Yeah, you can do the math. It's easy.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm starting to get really interested in this now. Okay, so you came up with the idea, and you were, like, in this track from early on in your life. So it was things you thought about for years and years.
Yeah.
And you talked to all these other guys. Are any of them your competitors right now here in Hawaii?
No, and the funny part is that there's only 2 real companies that had started this and had tried to scale it across the country, and they have both stopped operations.
Because?
One was very much a building envelope kind of assessment company, and they got absorbed by another company. They got merged and bought out by a larger company. Another one was much more of a multi-level marketing. They were actually just looking to push their own cleansers. They would,
tacky.
Yeah, very tacky. So that's why that business model failed. I mean, people would go in, so they didn't franchise, they licensed. It's a subtle difference. They licensed their brand for $79 a year. And then to renew after a year, it just cost $29. And their renewal rate among their licensees was less than 10%.
Nope.
So if you can't even have a value perception of $29 from somebody, you're
that's
obviously
not gonna work out.
your model is terrible. So people felt like they were salespeople. They were just going door to door selling cleansers, and that just doesn't.
That's a risk, isn't
Yeah.
it? I mean, if you're seen that way, it won't work.
So that's from the get-go. I built this to be franchisable and turnkey. And I wanted it to feel wonderful and Pono, more or less, to the people who were doing it. And Jennifer would be the first one to tell you. She latched onto this concept. She's like, I want in. Tell me how I get in it. So.
It really sounds pretty good. But we're going to take a short break, actually, Scott. We're going to come back and I'm going to ask you, how did you connect up with Dawn Lippert? What has she done for you? What has the Energy Accelerator done for you? And why is it important to the development of Pono Home?
Sure.
That's Scott Cooney, Pono Home, a really interesting idea that actually sounds, I'm going to talk to you after the show. Sounds pretty good. This is Think Tech Talks. I'm Jay Fidel, and today is Hawaii, the state of clean energy. We'll be right back after this break.
I'm Hong Jiang, host for Asia in Review on Tuesdays.
And I'm David Day, host for Asian Review on Thursdays. Both of us broadcast our respective shows at 4 p.m.
And my topics tend to deal with questions related to environment, culture, history, and sometimes human rights.
And my shows tend to be on international business, foreign policy, geopolitics, and national security. And you can watch our shows live on the ThinkTech website at thinktechhawaii.com.
And you can also watch us on YouTube or Olalo.
So come join us on Thursdays at 4 p.m. I'm David Day.
And on Tuesdays at 4 p.m., I'm Hong Jiang.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Okay, we're back. We're live. We're here with Scott Cooney, Pono Home. And Pono Home is a client cohort, if you will, of the Energy Accelerator run by Pictor with $30 million, as I remember, from the Department of Energy. And they're an Energy Accelerator. They're the only one right now specifically dedicated to energy. So that sounds like a pretty good match. But how did you connect up with her? What are they doing for you?
So it's the $30 million actually came from the Department of Defense.
Okay.
They had previously gotten a $9 million grant from the Department of Energy,
Okay.
and they used that for some earlier stuff. But this particular one is Department of Defense. So basically, what they were looking for is companies here locally that were looking to do business in Hawaii and help us solve our energy challenges, that were scalable, that were effective, and that could help solve some of the military's problems. So I applied. It was actually an open application. They had over 200 and some odd companies apply, and I applied as my company, and they chose 15 of us. So for me, the way that Pono Home serves the military and helps to pay this money back to the U.S. government is that if you
It's a loan.
It's not a loan.
What is it?
It's non-dilutive financing. And
Okay. I'm not a master. I'm not an MBA, so you'll have to tell me what that is.
to be totally honest, I'm a little. We head into Seed Week tomorrow, and I'm sure I'll know more in a week. But what we were told at the beginning was that this was non-dilutive financing. We don't have to give up any equity whatsoever, which is great for startups. And basically, since it is money that is coming from the Department of Defense, if we can help solve the Department of Defense's problems,
It's like a dual use thing in reverse.
yeah. So it's very much win-win. So for us, just for example, we take the money and we would be able to go and service military housing. And since taxpayers actually pay for the electric bill and the water bill and everything else for those military housing, we go in and we can immediately pay back that money. I think our payback period will be shorter than probably most of the rest
Lord
of the
knows
cohort.
there's enough military housing in this one island.
A ton, yeah. And the really interesting thing is that since the people living there don't pay their own bills, their average bill is twice what other people's bills are who live in exact same size housing outside
Interesting
of it.
how that works.
And when military members move outside of military housing complexes where they then have to be responsible for the utility bill, their electricity use
Goes
drops
down.
quite a bit. So
Human
that
nature, a wonderful thing.
yeah, exactly. So that is a fundamental problem that needs to be fixed on on the federal level. But for us, we can go in very quickly and help reduce the bills.
Everybody
in
wins.
kind of a permanent way. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's spectacular.
Thanks.
Okay, so they liked it. What do you think they liked about you? How much money are they giving you?
Don't know yet. So
Okay.
after.
Well, I wish you well on that.
Thank you. So we go into Seed Week starts tomorrow, and we're in that for a week. We'll meet mentors, we'll meet investors, we'll meet a lot of the rest of our cohort. We'll work on our marketing, that sort of thing. And at the end, they're supposed to give us non-dilutive financing of anywhere from $30,000 to $100,000, and that's really just to help get us started.
What are you going to do with it?
Franchise fees are extremely expensive. Getting a lawyer to create that
So
6-inch
you gotta-
manual.
that 6-inch, oh yeah, and,
That-
and complying with all the rules and regulations.
Yeah.
The Franchise Act is
Yeah.
not without regulation. you know.
Absolutely. So that alone is probably a $30,000 expense. On top of that, so what we're using right now is we're using our phones, believe it or not, and we have like a checklist on the phone. So when we're in the house, we can access just with our phone plan. We can access our own online checklist.
You wouldn't have to change that. It's like a great idea.
Oh, it is, but what we want to do is develop software for our phones which allows us to do a checklist that we can actually enter data on, and then we can actually track the effectiveness of what we're doing, and that data can then go to HECO.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, and
I
then,
love it.
Yeah, and there's so many other things that we can kind of do once we have that data entry thing for all of our franchisees. And imagine it this way. So if you look at the Pono Home website 10 years from now, there will be tickers moving along almost like the dial on your odometer. One will be kilowatts, one will be barrels of oil, one will be water, gallons of water. And for every Pono Home franchisee who enters in, yes, I changed a shower head, that will enter into that database and start saving water, start saving energy, et cetera, et cetera.
Who gets to look at that? The homeowner.
It'll be public. And what's cool is that we'll end up probably getting our homeowners to compete against each other, and then we'll give some prizes on it, whatever. But doing that data entry stuff makes that all happen. So to develop that app and the database and all the stuff behind it is going to cost a lot of money. So that's kind of the goal.
I can see why you got to be a cohort.
You can see why I'm an MBA professor.
You take a simple idea and you put a little creativity on it.
Right.
Whoa, it goes to the moon. What is it to be an entrepreneur, actually, Scott? Tell me your definition of it. Huh?
It's the life, Jay. It's the best. I work harder than anybody I know. Anybody who has a 9-to-5 job has no idea how many hours we put in and how much sleep we lose and how much intensity it demands. But the reward is just incredible.
What is the reward? When does it come? How does it? What are the moments of reward, so to speak?
Well, when you make money, that's a financial reward. That's great. I think the biggest reward that's potentially ever happened for me is the other day when I was talking with Jennifer, and she was saying, this is really cool. This is going really great. How are you feeling? And I said, I get to create jobs for people like you. Awesome, fun, amazing, smart people who want to work with their hands, see the fruits of their labor, and make the world a better place and make a living wage doing it.
And as a franchisee, she can do this by herself. She
Yep.
doesn't have to have a crowd of 10 people helping
That's
her.
it.
She all she does is look at the phone, go down the checklist, fix this and that. You've shown her how to do it. It's easy.
Yep.
And so it's a proprietorship type of business for her.
Exactly. It's
Oh,
a
wonderful.
turnkey, cookie cutter
Everybody
kind of
wins.
thing. But then she gets to be creative and save energy and save water every single day and help people.
Yeah.
So for me, the biggest reward I've ever had is when she said, what's the thing for you? And I said, creating jobs for people like you. And I can see millions of people who want jobs like this. And if I can create those jobs, I'm getting tingles actually just talking
Me
about it
too.
right now. So,
And I'm just listening.
so that's pretty much it. I
You
just
thought about the fact that this can be expandable, this whole idea. You're not just talking about servicing energy issues in a home.
Yep.
You're talking about a whole way of doing service for people.
Yep.
With the checklist and little expertise and the hands-on. It's a new
training.
model.
Yeah.
I used to be active with the Building Owners Association. Big buildings like this building. The same thing could happen on any scale, really.
It can. I mean, that's the thing. And I think yeah, I already have the website ponobusiness.com. That may be the next thing.
That's a good name.
Thank you. And so we're looking at small to mid-sized companies, and so many of them just don't have the time to devote to small changes. And so that's probably, who knows, the next thing I'm going to do. But right now, as I said, renters have never had an option for energy efficiency, just never. The only thing that they were able to do is search for information themselves and then put it into play. But there's so many barriers to that. And we just come in and we just do it all.
This is your big thing right now, huh?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
it feels that way.
Yeah.
So let me ask you what we always ask in the third quarter of our show, which I think I tipped you off about this, right? What are the challenges? What's the dark side? What do you worry about at 2 in the morning?
Oh, God.
How could this all fall apart one day?
You know, the thing for me is letting people down. I have a pretty good sized team, and you know.
How many is that?
So I've actually been incubating Pono Home under the umbrella of my previous company, or under my current company, and we have about 55 people in that company, and it's a sustainability education company, which is
but that's a lot of people to have to deal with and cope with.
And you know, with the number of things I have kind of going on, I lose sleep over just not delivering what I need to deliver to let somebody else do their job and do it well. So that's a challenge, and there's just always something else I haven't thought of, and I think that's the biggest thing. But you know what? We're making progress, so it's okay.
What else do you worry about?
I worry.
Where else are the failure points? I mean, in every project, there's always points of fatigue where maybe it doesn't work, maybe you have to fix it. You don't know exactly. Where are they?
Well, right now we're experiencing. What's funny is that we're experiencing some challenges in marketing. And I think the most interesting thing is that when you tell somebody about this concept, they immediately get it, and they say, that is such a great idea, but then they don't actually buy the service. And so for me, it's figuring out where's the gap, how that decision doesn't get made. And I think it's A, because it's a fairly different thing, they've never seen anything like this before, but B, it's always, somebody's always like, oh, that wouldn't work for me. Like, somebody always has some reason that, you know, somebody on their shoulder, some little bird is telling them, but that doesn't apply to your house. The renter thing is...
But you can make the case that it applies to every house.
100%. And so for us, that's the challenge, is figuring out the marketing aspect of this. The people who have done it have loved it. As I said, we give 100% of the money back, no questions asked, if it doesn't work in under a year, save you, pay for itself. So we're trying to take all the barriers away to people adopting the service and giving it a shot, because I'm pretty confident in it.
But just thinking it through with you now, my reaction anyway, is maybe part of this is you want to come into my house, put your hands all over everything.
That is
Who
definitely,
are you?
Yep, that's totally valid.
I need validation. I mean, I need some kind of authentication that you are, worth coming into my house, and I can open my door and not worry about it.
For sure. Yeah.
I don't know how you do that, but I think that may be a resistance point.
Absolutely, and I think a lot of people, it's interesting too, a lot of people, especially in the environmental community, are a little embarrassed at, if we come into their house and we find a ton of things that they're like, they're talking about this stuff all the time, and then you come in and you find that they've never cleaned the condenser coils on their refrigerator,
cleaned your condenser coils.
and they have like 3 incandescent bulbs they forgot about, and they're, oh god, So I think there is definitely part of that. And we just try so hard to be non-judgmental and just kind of be like, cool, no, it's fine. This is why we're here, But it's, at some point it becomes more of a common service. It's just, you call your plumber, the plumber comes in the door, it's the same kind of thing. You call a handyman, they come in the door, they work in your house. This is just something that nobody really understands yet. So that's our communication
It's out
trouble.
there, though, Scott.
It is, yeah.
I know it's out there, and I know you're going to figure it out.
Oh, thank you, Jay. I appreciate your confidence.
No, you've come a long way with all these great new ideas for a new kind of service, a new kind of approach to things. Really fabulous idea, and I do want to talk to you after. I'd be very curious, about how that works. Anyway, we take one last break.
Sure.
When we come back, we'll talk about the future, how you see it looking forward. With everything you know and everything you studied and all your MBA kind of experience, what does it look like going down the road? Scott Cooney, Pono Home, which is a client cohort of the Energy Accelerator, and they made a good selection, I think. This is Think Tech Talks, broadcasting from the core of downtown Honolulu in Pioneer Plaza on Wednesday, Hawaii, the state of energy. And if I miss my guess, I think my co-host is now here, Sharon Moriwaki. She's being an observer today. We'll take a short break so we can talk to Sharon. We'll be right back. I mean it.
Aloha, I'm Maria Kashem of Think Tech Hawaii, and I want to tell you about our Think Tech talk shows. If you didn't know it, ThinkTech streams video and audio for all of its shows live on the internet from 2 to 5 p.m. every weekday afternoon, and we replay them all night long on ustream.tv. Visit thinktechhawaii.com for our live stream and YouTube links. Raise your awareness on ThinkTech. I'm Maria Kashem, and I'll see you there.
Aloha, I'm Jay Fidel of ThinkTech. We have some news for you. In addition to our ThinkTech TV show and our Asia in Review show on Olelo 54, as of January 1st, we're adding Community Matters to play also 2 hours a week. Check out thinktechhawaii.com for the specific times of each of these shows. We hope you enjoy all three. Mahalo, I'm Jay Fidel.
But it's more fun with
Okay,
more
we're
people.
back. We're live. We're here with Scott Cooney, and also Sharon Moriwaki, who's going to get on the mic now.
Aloha.
Okay, aloha. Scott is with Pono Home. He is Pono Home. He created Pono Home, and you really got to. What's your website again?
PonoHome.com.
Why am I not surprised? And you're listening to Think Tech Talks on Wednesday, Hawaii, the State of Clean Energy, broadcasting from downtown Honolulu Pioneer Plaza. And as we left it for our remaining time, which isn't very much, I just wanted to get a handle on, your serial entrepreneurship and where this is going to go for the company and for you.
Yeah. So Pono Home is actually, so right now it's being incubated underneath my media company. I actually own a media company, and it's all sustainability education. And
Media company like Think Tech kind of digital?
it's actually
media?
it's all online.
Okay.
So it's a network of sustainability blogs. And in December we had our biggest month ever, and we got about 5.4 million readers. So
God, I thought it meant dollars for a minute.
no.
That
Wow, that would be fantastic. Over 5 million readers in December. So we're doing a lot of
That's
outreach, just educating people about green living and clean tech and green building and stuff like that. So anyway, I've been incubating Pono Home, basically paying for it from funds from the media company for the last couple of months. And it's going to be spun off as a new business, and that was actually required by the Energy Accelerator and also part of my long-term plan anyway. So that will actually be my 5th business. The first business I started, believe it or not, was a lawn care service, and it was an eco-friendly lawn care service. And this was my big idea when I was 20. But it
was all on the same trail, wasn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah. As I said, I've always thought there's a business solution to all environmental problems. And if you've ever been annoyed by a loud weed whacker, or a loud lawnmower, or those leaf blowers that the guys use,
People in the legislature get annoyed by the leaf blower. Yeah.
That was. Is that
There's
a
a
ledge?
bill.
That's a
There's
ledge
bill
joke.
about
Yeah,
leaf
there
blowers.
is.
They
Oh,
get
thank
excited.
God! Honestly, it needs to happen.
And you already have the solution.
And I had the solution. Yeah, and there's
What's
actually
the solution?
So you actually use electric stuff or push brooms or whatever. Like you literally go out and do the work yourself, as opposed to just having gigantic machinery do the job. So I started the company, and I had electric lawnmowers and push reel lawnmowers and electric weed whackers and electric blowers and push brooms and all that kind of stuff. The most simple, basic business model. And I started it and I sold it about 4 years later, and the guy who bought it from me ended up franchising it, and he won Entrepreneur Magazine's Green Entrepreneur of the Year. Several years later.
Honestly, did you feel like you gave it away too cheap?
Oh yeah, way too cheap. But it was a good lesson. So that helped build things for the future. My second business was a lot more successful. My third business, I actually I lost the money that I put into it. And then the fourth business.
The rule of averages.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, 3 out of 4 ain't bad, I guess. And the fourth business was this media company. I'm still running that. I'm still the head of that company, and have about 55 people working for me. And so, trying to get that out there. We have the world's biggest clean energy website. It's called cleantechnica.com. That by itself gets well over 2 million readers a month.
Wow. Do you have technical people on the staff that write your websites?
Yes. Yeah. So those are all writers and editors and stuff like that. So.
I mean, the code.
Oh, no, it's WordPress. It's very simple. It's,
Thank you.
I have one guy who does IT work, and that's pretty much it. Everybody else is a writer or an editor.
That's true. The technology is immersed in it anyway.
It's pretty simple, yeah.
You don't have to be an expert to do this.
You really
can
don't.
conceive of it, that's all.
That's it.
You could go worldwide too, aren't you?
Oh, we do.
Like
We have
international?
readers all over the place. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got readers in Sri Lanka.
So how do you hire people in this area, the 55, I mean? How do you find people who you trust, to be trustworthy for your clients? I mean, how do you find them?
Sometimes they find us, and I think that's the wonderful world of sustainability. Is once you make a connection with a friend through something about green living, it's deeper than other friendships that I have, which is really interesting. And I think once you know that somebody has this mindset, they know other people who have those mindsets and some skills that maybe you need, and so it ends up getting connected that way. So.
Where's it all going for you? What's your life plan? I hate to ask that question. That's a bad question. Sorry, I withdraw that question. Terrible question. What's your life plan?
I would love to see Pono Home franchises all across the world. That is hopefully the 2-year plan with Pono Home. I would love to see thousands of green jobs created across the world, helping these people make money by doing stuff that they love and that helps other people live a greener life. I would love to see maybe Pono Business get started and help small businesses that can't hire sustainability consultants and have them come in and just swap out like the same thing like we do for Pono Home. And I'd like to just see it continue to grow. I mean, I don't really have an exit strategy at this point. I know that's what I'm supposed to develop at this point, but right now
I love what you're doing.
I do.
Exit strategies don't really come into play yet. You know?
When you wake up every morning excited about what you're doing, it's hard to think about exit strategies.
Yeah, it's hard to think about. I mean, ultimately, I guess you have to get to that.
Yeah.
But it's nice to be in a place where you don't want to think about it.
Yep,
That's
definitely.
what's wonderful.
Definitely.
Like, it becomes like a religion or something. You know?
For sure.
It envelops you.
What I want to know about are the green jobs that you're creating, because that is a challenge for the state on how we keep the economy growing with people having jobs. Like, what kinds of jobs are we creating with Pono Homes?
So it's a franchise model, and so the people who basically become Pono Home franchisees can immediately go into business with our training, our support, and basically take our model and emulate it and just go start servicing homeowners and renters. If you think about the market, there's 1 million people who live here in the state. 800,000 or so live on Oahu. How many homes is that? That's 300, 400,000 homes. If we do 3 a day, that's a solid day of work for us. So doing 3 a day, tackling 400,000 homes, that's a big market potential. And I have yet to be in a house that doesn't benefit from Pono Home. So
by definition.
It's one of those things that
So
we
do you
literally
have
can service.
these testimonials? You're talking about marketing, and
No,
Jay
we've got
said,
it.
people are kind of concerned about new people coming into their home. That maybe some of these people say, they came in, they didn't rob me.
We've got all this social media and the Yelp page, and we've got testimonials on our website and all that stuff. It's all in the works. It's just we just need to scale it. That's it.
Well, credit to Dawn Lippert, actually, for finding you. But I want to, we have maybe 1 minute left, and I wanted to offer you the opportunity to talk to that camera over there.
Okay.
And tell those people what it is to be an entrepreneur, why they should be an entrepreneur, if you feel they should.
Yeah, I mean, entrepreneurship is awesome, as I said, but it's definitely not for everybody. I think the main thing is if you really and truly enjoy being creative and are driven, then you can succeed as an entrepreneur. If you have good focus, then yes, go for it. If you kind of feel more comfortable having a list of things to do, then it's probably best that you get a job.
So if they wanted to come down and see your class, maybe sign up for your class, how would they do that? Where are you? What school? And the Shiloh Business School?
Shiloh College of Business at UH Manoa, and I teach in the MBA program there. But unless you're an MBA student, I guess you can't really take the class. So sorry.
Okay, too bad.
Yeah.
Do you teach these things that we've been talking about in that class?
No, it's more management strategy and opportunities to create profit through green initiatives for larger companies. That's the major thing that I teach. So,
Sharon, thank you for arranging this wonderful guest. This was really terrific, spectacular.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it, guys.
Thank you, Scott Cooney. Pono Home, a really promising situation, company, and person. This is Think Tech Talks, Hawaii, the state of clean energy. Sharon Moriwaki and me, we enjoy ourselves too. We like what we do also, every Wednesday.
That's obvious.
Aloha, Scott.
Aloha, guys. Thanks so much. Thank you.